We've all seen those aesthetic glow up videos where you invest in a new wardrobe, you buy new makeup, and you even start a 10-step skincare routine. But 6 weeks later, you look in the mirror and you still feel like the exact same person. That's because just changing your appearance doesn't actually change your standards. It just provided an illusion of progress. In order for you to make actual improvements in your life, you have to take actual action in order to execute that. Because changing your appearance doesn't matter if you are still letting yourself down and breaking promises to yourself behind closed doors. Confidence isn't something that you're just born with. It's something that you actually have to build. And in order to actually build it, you have to start keeping promises that you make to yourself. Think about it. Every time you say, I'm gonna go to the gym today, and you don't, you wire your brain to not believe in yourself and to not have your own self-confidence. Think about how you feel every time you have a friend that flakes on you. You ask them to hang out, they say they're gonna come, and then they don't actually show up. Think about how that makes you feel. Think about how that actually makes you lose trust in that friend and lose trust in that friendship. Well, you can say the same thing about yourself. Every time you set a goal for yourself and you don't actually put in the work to achieve it, you set an alarm for 6 a.m. and you hit snooze every morning when that's the time you're supposed to be going to yoga or going to the gym or going to Pilates. Every time you do that, you're wiring your brain to lose confidence in yourself. And when you lose confidence in yourself, it's harder for you to achieve your goals because at that point, you don't even have the self-esteem or the confidence to believe that you can actually achieve the goals that you set for yourself. Now, the biggest thing is, well, how do I fix this? I'm always setting goals. I'm always setting up myself to want to do these things, and I never actually execute them. Well, here's where I come in. You need systems. You need systems that you can actually follow day by day by day that lead up to the big goal. When you think about it, if you set this huge goal for yourself, so let's say we take the gym, for example. You say, I'm gonna go to the gym 4 to 5 days out of the week. That's a really massive goal. You may feel overwhelmed because that's a massive task. Think about it. Going to the gym 4 to 5 times a week is a pretty big goal. Now, if you set smaller goals for yourself to reach, smaller milestones in that bigger goal for you to reach, you'll actually feel like you accomplished something and you're still working on reaching that goal. This is what I mean by system. So instead of saying you're gonna go to the gym 4 to 5 times every week, set a specific day of the week that you're gonna go to the gym just for the first month to get yourself used to actually doing that habit every week. So let's say in this case you choose Thursday. So you say every Thursday I'm gonna go to the gym. You have to have systems in place to make sure that reaching that goal is as easy as it can be for you. If you know yourself, that means you need to have your gym backpack, you need to have your shoes, your tennis shoes in your car. You need to have your workout clothes. You need to have your water bottle. This reduces any barrier that may be in place to stop you from reaching that goal. So it stops you from having to come home, find workout clothes, find your gym bag, find your tennis shoes, and then by the time you get home, you may decide, oh, actually, I don't think I'm gonna go to the gym today because I feel too tired. And if you had already had those systems in place, if you had already packed that gym bag this morning, if you already had the workout clothes ready, if you already had your gym shoes in the car, there would be no barrier because as soon as you leave work, you would be on your way to the gym because you already have all the things that you need to reach that goal. When you create systems that reduce any barriers, it's easier for you to execute your goal. And every time you execute a goal, guess what? You rewire your brain to know that you have confidence in yourself. It rewires your brain to tell yourself that you can actually trust yourself when it comes to making goals and making promises. And guess what? Every time you execute a goal, that's executing discipline. And when you execute discipline, you're actually able to truly make positive improvements and positive changes in your life because you're actually doing the things that you promised and you told yourself that you would do. Not only should you also be creating and executing systems that help reduce any barriers to you actually completing your goals, you also should be treating your goals like an appointment. Put them on your calendar. If you're gonna go to the gym for 30 minutes on Thursday, put that scheduled time on your calendar so that you know that that is a non-negotiable. Every Thursday, you're gonna go to the gym. If you, for example, are planning on starting a business and you're like, every time I decide I want to start my business, I never actually get anything done. That's because you aren't actually scheduling the time that you need to do those things. So again, put it on your calendar. Say every Saturday at 11 a.m., I'm going to work on XYZ for my business. And every Saturday, you get up in the morning, and guess what? At 11 a.m., because you already have that scheduled time there, you've already scheduled your life around that specific time you set, you're going to get up and be able to work on your business things at 11 a.m. But if you don't actually create systems that help you execute your goals, and you don't actually schedule time for yourself to be able to reach and execute those goals, then you'll never get there. You'll never do the things that you promised yourself that you were going to do, and it'll cause a serious decrease in your self-confidence because you're not actually keeping the promises to yourself that you said you would. The real glow up is really about discipline. It's really about keeping promises that you told yourself that you would do. It's about not breaking promises to yourself. It's about setting a goal and, like I said, creating little tasks, little by little, to execute those goals so that you actually are able to maneuver and navigate in the world with actual confidence of knowing, I trust myself. I know that I'm capable of doing these things because I've done hard things in the past. Again, using the gym example, you say to yourself, okay, my first month, I was going to the gym every Thursday. Now my third month, I'm going to the gym 3 to 4 times a week. You know why? Because on my first month, I set up a smaller goal for me to achieve. I reduced any barriers for me being able to achieve that goal, and I executed that goal. And that just, again, continues to rewire your brain to know that you are capable of doing hard things and you are capable of reaching all of the goals that you set for yourself. That is how you glow up. By keeping promises to yourself and by practicing discipline day in and day out, week by week, month by month, year by year. Remember, Rome was not built in a day. I want to know in the comments, what promise are you keeping to yourself today? So I want to know, comment it. And make sure you subscribe for our next video if this hit home. And what tools are you going to be implementing in your daily life? Bye. See you in my next one. Make sure you subscribe. Bye.